Hey, you listen to Wrestling Roundup on FreeFM 89.0 in the Waikato and ArrowFM 92.7 in the Wire Rapper. Thanks ArrowFM for picking us up. You can listen to us on FreeFM if you live in the Waikato, Fridays 4:30pm. It's also repeated on Saturdays at 4:30pm again. Or if you're listening in the Wire Rapper, that's ArrowFM 92.7 at 6pm on Saturdays. Or if you listen around the world, you can catch us on YouTube. We'll put the links on Facebook and worldwide on the Access radio network. Now that that's out of the way, I'm Grady, and live on Skype's Josh.
Hey.
That's all the time we have for intros and stuff because we got a jam-packed WrestleMania to preview.
Oh, yeah.
At the time of recording, John Cena Undertaker is not announced. We will be talking about it, assuming that it will happen. So there's 14 matches we got to get through. Let's start at the top. Pre-show. We know what matches are on it now. Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. 14 people confirmed so far. The Revival, Baron Corbin, Mojo Rawley, Ty Dillinger, Matt Hardy, Dolph Ziggler, The Fashion Police, Slater and Rhino, Goldust, Zack Ryder, Primo. Who we got winning this?
If he's not going to be the partner for Braun, Kurt Hawkins.
I'm happy with it. As much as I would prefer Kurt Hawkins to be the partner, I'm seeing way too many rumors floating about of different people. But I'll still hold out hope that we see Kurt Hawkins as Braun Strowman's partner. And I don't know if this is when we're going to see the re-emergence of a couple talents. Obviously, Big Cass sitting on the sideline. Jeff Hardy. Bray Wyatt isn't actually injured, could come back here if he's going to involve himself in Matt Hardy. Presuming Kurt Hawkins ain't going to win, I'm actually going to lean towards a Matt Hardy or a Bray Wyatt type coming out. Whether that's Bray helping Matt or the other way around. I want to see that continued more as a friendship-y type thing. I know we were talking about a tag team for a little while.
Yeah, but I've heard a rumor of possibly Bray not being involved in this match at all, but being involved in a different match on the card.
I'm going to scroll. Let me look. Nah, you lost me.
Being Braun's tag team partner.
Who hasn't been rumored to be Braun's tag team partner?
I think a partridge in a pear tree has been rumored as this is Braun's tag team partner.
Guys, we got a worldwide announcement. First time ever. Grady is going to be Braun Strowman's partner. Flying out tomorrow. We're going to win those tag team belts. I don't know. Obviously, there's so many opportunities. And with Battle Royals, we've seen previously there's not too many consequences to them. So, theoretically, anyone can win. If I was throwing stuff around, I'd pick Matt Hardy just for the sake of throwing a dart at a dartboard.
I'll probably go with a returning Big Cass.
There you go. That also works, yeah. WrestleMania Women's Battle Royal. Currently 13 people announced. Sasha Banks, Becky Lynch, Liv Morgan, Naomi, Natalia, Ruby Riott, Sarah Logan, Bayley, Lana, Mandy Rose, Sonya Deville, Mickie James, Carmella, and they have said that NXT people will be in this as well. Opens up the playing field. Who's walking home with the trophy for the first time?
Kairi Sane.
Ballsy pick. Ballsy pick. She's already got a trophy, right? Mae Young Classic had a trophy?
Yeah.
Such a big trophy cabinet. I think the big feud in here, obviously, is Sasha Banks Bayley. But whether that leads to them being final two and still fighting, or whether that leads to them eliminating each other in the middle of the match,
that's the one I'm expecting. I'm expecting them to eliminate each other.
Their beef is not here. Their beef is at I keep messing up the name of the paper. At Backlash. I expect a small amount of storyline progression here, but this isn't the blow-off. This isn't anything. This is the middle of the road. We need to keep going. I like the Kairi Sane pick. Would it be a part of her main roster debut, or would it be a one-off and hidden back?
I would guess probably a debut, but okay. I would not know for sure.
I think it's really hard nowadays to pick that. Like we had A couple NXT people featured themselves in the Royal Rumble, and then they went back down to NXT and are going to finish off what they're doing. And when it's open up to all of the women from NXT, I think there's so many opportunities for people to come up into that match and put on a good show, whether they are debuting later on or whether they are one-off Battle Royal participants.
Yeah.
Either way, we're lingering too long. We got matches to get through. Cedric Alexander, Mustafa Ali, Cruiserweight Championship. We all knew it was going to be on the pre-show, but now we know officially.
Yeah, but that gives them more time, and I'm expecting a really, really good match here.
I think if it came down to 2 minutes on the main show or 15 minutes on the pre-show, everybody knows what you'd rather pick.
Yeah.
Even if you get left off the DVD.
But I expect Cedric Alexander to win the title.
Yeah, I don't think that's too crazy. I would not be surprised if either of these men walked out with the title.
Yeah.
I expect Cedric. I don't expect Neville. Especially not that it's a pre-show match. I'd find that kind of ironic. But yeah, I think these two great match. As much as it sucks to be on the pre-show, they are going to get a more focus on the pre-show, and they're going to get a bit of time, and it is what it is, right?
Yep.
Main card time. Daniel Bryan, Shane McMahon, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn. Shane McMahon is pulling gifts from God and being able to appear.
I'm not surprised.
This man is part Wolverine, part Buddy John Cena, okay?
Yeah, he's part Superman.
That's the McMahon part, right?
Yeah.
Do we even need to talk about this match? Who's gonna win?
Shane and Daniel Bryan.
Simple as that. There's
and
no
then
toss-up.
KO and Sami Zayn will go to Raw.
Yeah. It's the obvious way to go, right? You're fired from SmackDown, you go to Raw. It's been done 1,000 times over. Bryan and McMahon, there's no way in hell they are losing. Unless, like, Daniel Bryan screws over Shane and then somehow takes the loss. I don't know. Shane and Bryan are not losing cleanly to there being no shenanigans.
Yeah, and especially with it being Daniel Bryan's in-ring return.
You can't have him be a bad guy. It just won't work. Kurt Angle, Ronda Rousey, Triple H, Stephanie McMahon mixed tag team match.
This is a very interesting match. I'm very interested in seeing how it plays out. But I think we all know who's going to win in Ronda and Kurt.
Daniel Bryan doesn't lose, Ronda doesn't lose. Simple as that. And weirdly enough, they both have a quote-unquote semi-retired old man on their team as well. But yeah, I think Ronda, Kurt, easy pick up the win here. Interested to see what that does for the dynamic of Raw. Obviously, I say that
I expect
Ronda
Kurt
wins.
to be fired on the Raw after WrestleMania.
Yeah, Ronda wins. Raw, Kurt Angle, good luck.
Yep.
I don't know if we'll hold off a little bit on his firing because Daniel Bryan is presumably leaving the SmackDown general manager role, and I don't know if they want both general managers being empty at the same time, but Kurt's days are numbered. And I think picking up a win over your boss and your other boss really ain't going to help you out. For the first time ever, the Usos, they made it versus the New Day versus the Bludgeon Brothers for the SmackDown Tag Team Championship.
Yeah, this is going to be a great match. This is going to be a great match.
The hammers are going to be brought down.
Yeah. Bludgeon Brothers I expect to win, but I could see anything happening.
Yeah.
And nothing would be too far-fetched out of the realm of possibilities there. But yeah, these three teams should really tear the house down.
The odds are really not in the Usos' favor here, with the Bludgeon Brothers having their signature weapons laying around that they can use, and the New Day having a third member that they can technically use. They're coming into it slightly outnumbered, but I'm definitely with you in expecting the Bludgeon Brothers to pick up the win. How long have the Usos held that belt? They would have held that for a good long while now, wouldn't they?
I want to say October.
Yep, October, so 177 days. Traded it with the New Day a couple times. Pretty much since March last year, they lost it for 2 months. So they've held it for 10 of the last 12 months, roughly. Been a good run for them.
Yeah.
The other tag team championship were on Raw. Cesaro and Sheamus defending against Strowman and TBD. We talked about who we wanted it to be, but who's it really going to be?
Samoa Joe.
Really, I've heard so many things now. I've now heard Bray Wyatt, Samoa Joe, Big Show. Honestly, the bookies must be having a field day with this.
Yeah, you could hear the excitement in my voice, too.
I think Samoa Joe has better things to do than be with Braun. I feel like Braun, his whole thing is that he doesn't need anybody else. He could beat both members of the Bar on his own.
Yeah.
It seems weird to give him another dominating monster to be with him.
Yeah. That's why I wanted a comedic effect for this tag team. Either being the completely useless Kurt Hawkins.
Yes!
Or just for the dynamic of it being Elias paired with him.
The thing that I have going for me and crossing my fingers against Joe is that Greatest Royal Rumble in Saudi Arabia is now WWE Network special. It will be televised, and the scheduled card should be changed as always. Intercontinental title matches: Miz versus Rollins versus Baylor versus Joe. Which would put me in the mindset that Joe will not be holding a title going into that, if that still sticks. And plans don't change. So I can cross my fingers that he's not going to be the partner of Braun Strowman here, and we're going to get a bit of a comedy guy in there instead. Fingers thoroughly crossed. Let's go to song. We should go to song now. I'm assuming the song is the one you sent through the classic WrestleMania WWF theme.
Yes.
What years was that used?
It was the original theme.
So, number 1.
It was used for the first 10 WrestleManias.
Yeah. I had a feeling there was a lot of them, I just didn't remember how many. And now we get Kid Rock. It's close. Take a listen. And you're back with Wrestling Roundup on FreeFM 89.0 and ArrowFM 92.7. We're going through WrestleMania here. We still have 6 matches to get through, and they're pretty high-profile matches. Intercontinental Championship triple threat match: Miz versus Seth Rollins versus Finn Balor. Miz walking out with his title.
I would hope so, but I don't expect it. I expect Finn Balor to win the title.
Me too. I was wondering if we're on that wavelength there.
Which probably means Miz is retaining.
He has a Dolph Ziggler's chance of retaining. Yeah, I think Finn and the Balor Club gaining a little bit of momentum. I expect them. Possible shenanigans in this match, obviously, with Gallows and Anderson, with the Miztourage, with Joe booked for the Greatest Royal Rumble match, Fatal 4-Way. There's plenty of options here. Personally, I'm going to go with Finn takes the title, they have that Fatal 4-Way, Finn retains, and we move to Finn versus Joe over the Intercontinental title. I know they put on great matches in NXT, so I'd fingers crossed it would be good here. But anything can happen. US Championship, we got our Fatal 4-Way already. Randy Orton versus Bobby Roode versus Jinder Mahal versus, depending on who you listen to, I Want My Release, Mr. Rusev, or I sell a whole lot of merchandise, Mr. Rusev.
Yeah, I like Rusev. I like Rusev Day. I don't want to see him win the United States title again.
I feel like with such a late addition, he's there either to eat the pinfall or to win the title.
No, he's not going to get pinned. And he's not going to win the title either.
You're picking him for neither?
Yes. I'm going to say that Bobby Roode wins the title back.
Okay.
By pinning the champion.
Okay.
And in the process turns completely heel.
as much as you're gonna hate it, I'm gonna pick Rusev to win.
I wouldn't hate it. Just I don't want to see it. There's a
Okay.
difference.
You will severely dislike it. I don't know. I feel like he's been added to the match, right? He's got to get something out of this. He was my pick to win the Andre Battle Royal until he got moved out, so he sort of screwed up my pick'ems that way. I think the thing that we can both agree on is Orton will not walk out with the title, unless he does. Alexa Bliss versus Nia Jax, Raw Women's Championship.
This has been a beautifully built feud. I'm just hoping that there's a payoff.
There's no payoff.
Yeah, knowing WWE, they'll probably put the Mean Girl over.
Alexa Bliss barely retains. Nia Jax beats the hell out of her. Carmella cashes in. We're all sorted.
Yeah, except that can't happen.
I don't know what the contract says. Does anybody know what the contract says?
They've explained it way too many times. It's not like the situation with Edge, where during his reign as Money in the Bank contract, the World Championships actually changed brands.
Hmm.
So you get an out in saying that he could cash it in on the WWE Championship.
Yeah.
Because it was the World Championship on the Raw.
I can live in hope, right?
But the Raw and SmackDown Women's Championships never changed brands. Therefore, the contract still stays the same.
What if they did, though? What if Asuka wins and then takes the title back to Raw? She just gets like a bit of paint and just splashes it over it? It's not happening. I think if there is no cash-in, I'd love it here for Nia to get a bit of payoff. Possibly, beating down the potential interference that shows up, as well as getting one over Alexa Bliss.
Yeah.
How long's Bliss held it now at this point? Got to be a while.
Let's see here. I know she's a two-time champion, but she's held it for the most part since April.
Yep.
But there was a really brief period.
She lost it for
where
8
she was
days.
not the champion. Yeah.
So we pretty much say that she's held it for all but a week of the last year.
And before that, she was the SmackDown Women's Champion twice.
She can probably lose it.
Yeah.
Just a little.
So since December of 2016, I think it was.
Looks like February 2017, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, she was already a women's champion once before that.
Oh yeah, Naomi with the 9-day reign. What is it with 9-day reigns? So
well,
yeah,
that
December
was because
2016.
of injury. That was
True.
because of injury. But she won the title in December of 2016 from Becky Lynch. Then held it until she lost it in February of 2017. Won it back in a fatal 4-way, I think it was, because of injury.
Yep.
And then lost it at WrestleMania, and then switched brands and won the women's Raw title the next month.
She doesn't need a title, is what we're getting to.
Yeah.
He's held one long
for
enough.
And it's time for Nia to get some love.
Yeah. And there's going to be a lot of title changes, I think, because over on the other side of the women's division, on SmackDown, Charlotte Flair versus Asuka, it's going to go Asuka's way, ain't it?
Yeah, that's how it needs to happen. But it's going to be a very interesting match, and technically, I think it's in the degree realm of what if Cena ever faced Undertaker while the streak was alive? Who would win?
Sure.
Kind of thing, because technically, Charlotte has just as good a chance to beat Asuka as anybody does.
Carmella cashes in, makes it a triple threat, but the other two beat the ever-loving poop out of her, so the contract's wasted and they keep having their one-on-one. There we go.
That could happen.
You did mention Cena and The Undertaker. First question, is it happening?
Yeah, it's gonna happen.
Second question, is it American bad word I don't know if I can say on radio? American BA.
Yes.
Third question, is John Cena sitting at ringside as a fan for most of the show?
That would actually be a good, interesting dynamic, to be honest. You happen to have a ticket.
I really want to see it. I want to see John Cena, Nikki, the whole family. Just cutaways randomly, and then nope, Undertaker's here. If we're gonna get it, I want it to have that build up. I want it to be like John Cena's given up. He's not getting his WrestleMania moment this year. He doesn't have a spot on the card. He's just gonna come in as a fan and have front row tickets because they always do. And then fingers crossed, it's the Undertaker's last go. Please. Please. WWE Championship. AJ Styles versus the Royal Rumble winner, Shinsuke Nakamura. Who you got?
This is going to be a fantastic match. I am going with Shinsuke.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. Shinsuke, 35 minutes?
35 minutes. That sounds about right. Especially with the other title being probably about 15 minutes.
Ooh, that's pushing it. Yeah, I think AJ Shinsuke, to say it has the chance to be match of the night is a bit of a murky statement when there is a lot of damn good matches on this card and a lot of them that could be match of the night. But just looking purely at it, these two are going to tear the roof off this place because it has a roof for once. Not for long. I don't know if we're going to have a cooldown because I'm assuming Lesnar Reigns is going on last, right? That's my
I would
assumption.
assume so too, but I could actually see the WWE Championship match being the final match.
Or Reigns wins, we move on, everybody thinks it's over, then the gong hits, then we have Undertaker John Cena, after WrestleMania's already scheduled end time. Nobody expects it, everybody's moved on, surprise to everybody. Not gonna happen. It's gonna be one of these two matches. I'd flip a coin to say which. Maybe Shinsuke after the news that's come out. So we might as well talk about it. Universal Championship, the last match we haven't talked about. Brock Lesnar defending against Roman Reigns. I'm going to find the quote so I don't misquote him. But Dana White got on an interview today, the day of recording, and I believe he said, "Yeah, Brock Lesnar's coming back. I don't know when, but yes he is."
A feud is quickly
That's the quote. Take with it what you want.
Yeah. And a lot of people are saying for Brock, good riddance.
Everybody's going to be singing na 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 na.
Yeah. I just hope he doesn't phone in the match like he did at WrestleMania 20.
I don't know, it's hard to tell, right? Because WrestleMania 20, there were a lot of factors that went into that match. There was, both of them are heading out. Everybody knew they were heading out. Fans pooped on the match from the start. Nobody was interested. They did it because the contract said so. I think Reigns still wanting to put on a good match and trying to do something really well, potentially save this match. But the problem is that you're going to hit that same thing with the crowd, right? The crowd is going to hate Brock Lesnar because he's held the title for a year and is now going to go leave back to the UFC. The crowd are going to hate Roman Reigns because they're stupid. You got that same atmosphere where the crowd doesn't want either person to win. The crowd doesn't really care. And I think that's, with the Brock Lesnar going to the UFC being pretty much 100% confirmed out of the horse's mouth, I think AJ Nakamura might go on last.
Yeah.
I think that's what's going to put it there last. And I may be underestimating Brock Lesnar Reigns in terms of the push it has behind it with it needing to be going on last, but I think Shinsuke AJ is going to go on last. Reigns wins the title, moves on with the Universal Championship. Maybe gets Joe or somebody like that afterwards. Seth's floating around. There's plenty of people to line up to take on Roman Reigns. I'm assuming you're picking Roman Reigns as well?
Yeah, why wouldn't I?
Had to check. Maybe you're a crazy man. Radio, well, that's all we got time for. It's been great talking to you.
Maybe.
Next week, huge show. WrestleMania 34 Fallout. I don't think we're going to have time to talk about New Orleans for the NXT TakeOver because we got WrestleMania 34. We got Raw after WrestleMania. We got SmackDown after WrestleMania. We got a lot to get through. There's so much to get through. We're already excited to get there. Either way, you've been listening to Wrestling Roundup on FreeFM 89.0 and ArrowFM 92.7. You can visit our Facebook page, facebook.com/Wrestling Roundup Radio, Twitter.com/Wrestling Radio, and we'll see you next week.